Hello, welcome. I'm Dr. Arit. We're going to be talking about the 6 ways of joy. It's really fun. It feels amazing. It's energizing. Sometimes it can be exhausting. Joy is infectious. It is light. A really fantastic way to go through life is to cultivate more and more joy. And people really struggle with this because we're not told to focus on joy at all. We're told to focus on all sorts of things like productivity and quantifiable things and rules. The basic framework for the 6 ways is people often think you have to have this big thing happen in your life before you're allowed to feel happy or joyous about it. Milestones, graduations, external concrete things that you accomplish. And you should celebrate those big things too. But there's many parts of your day where there are things to be appreciated, things to revel in, things to relish. This is not toxic positivity. So I called for about the past 15 years, I used to call it the cheerfulness imperative. When basically everyone has to be happy all the time and be really, really chipper and really, really positive and no negative thoughts because they're going to hurt you. And that is just phobia of anxiety. That's not actually what I'm talking about. So it's like, how do we grieve and name and honor the bad stuff and also have moments of joy and appreciation and celebration? And how do we have both of those at the same time? So this isn't like requiring you to wait till all your problems are solved. This is like, how can you find even 10 seconds of it? Let's say you've been trying to go outside and you just haven't made it. Go and stick your head out the window, step outside where you live and count to 5 and just look at the sky, breathe in the air, see if there's any trees or birds or buildings or desert. Let the air on your face go back in. It takes 10 seconds and it's going to give you a mood boost. You know, a lot of people's addictive behavior comes from constantly trying to regulate anxiety. And like, I feel this way, okay, I'm going to use a substance. People are not taught how to keep that happiness piece. And you have to really start 5 to 10 second increments. Just, that a little bit of that throughout your day, and you will already feel a change and you will start to see new opportunities. Cultivating joy, I have a 6-part plan. Part 1, be spontaneous and plan. I know it sounds a little bit contradictory, but you want to pretty much do both. You want to think about time. So planning means I'm going to carve out time and protect time in my schedule for when I'm doing things that bring me joy. Bigger chunks, bigger days, months, that sort of thing. And the spontaneous one is, how am I going to see opportunities throughout the day of, I can have a bit of joy. So a very simple example one is you're listening to music and there's a song that comes on and it makes you really happy, right? You can sing along. You can dance. You can get up to dance. You can chair dance. If your body isn't working, you can literally make your fingers dance. Like whatever part of you can move, whatever part of you can connect with the music. And you just stop what you're doing and you get absorbed in the song. And then 2 minutes later, you go back to what you were doing. Or you stop and you think about someone in your life who you love and you just meditate on them, and you think, wow, this person is amazing for these reasons. And so just really thinking about what are tiny opportunities of, I'm running an errand. I'm going to stop on my way back and go to a park or drive by the water. First way is time. How do you relate to the time? And it's a combination of spontaneity and planning. And you want to do both. A little bit more is a little bit better. The next one is playfulness, silliness, goofiness. People have different things that they find playful and fun. Laughing is good for you in so many ways. Some people want to be silly. Some people want to, do impressions or send animal videos to each other or make animal noises or wear ridiculous things. I have been known. It's one of my practices is if I have to clean and I don't feel like it, I'm dressing up, right? I'm going to wear a ridiculous fascinator and like a tulle skirt because it's more fun to do the chores if I'm being playful about it. And it depends on your personality. But I want you to start thinking about, how do I bring out more playfulness into my daily life? And play around with those examples. That was not an intended pun. I'm so sorry. The next one is celebration. People seem to be pretty bad at celebrating. It's like a deep struggle. They talk themselves out of it. Oh, but what's so special about me? Or why do I get to celebrate? Or this isn't a big deal. And they downplay, or they think it's too difficult, or I just can't get what I want. It doesn't matter anyway. And there are so many opportunities to celebrate. Now, I'm an extreme end on this. And I'm going to give you my extreme example. I don't know if Paul will mind. Paul is my husband. We do couture coupling videos. There'll be stuff in the link on our website. And we have a ton of fun together. And Paul has been absolutely amazing to me. I can't even tell you how much my friends and family love him, how he took care of me when I went through breast cancer, how he takes care of me now physically, how he supported me throughout all of this. And the consequence of him being so nice to me is that I get what we call filled with too much love, and I have to give it back to him. And so we have, for his birthday season. And instead of celebrating one birthday, we celebrate as many days as he is old, which is insane, but it is so fun. It is so fun. So we started this when he was 35, and he went on a weekend trip, and he came back, and I said, we're celebrating your birthday for 35 days. And he just sort of stared at me like, what are you talking about, woman? And I was like, here's what's going to happen. And I make an Excel spreadsheet, and then I intermix it with, like, I do research on what movies he might want to watch together, TV shows, local places to go see. And I like do this whole arts and craft project, and it's all in envelopes. And every day we go to the birthday altar and we pick envelope and we do what it says. And it is so fun. And when I was 35 and we didn't really have much money to use, I picked free things, and small things. Like we'd go for like a pastry, not a meal. And having a little bit more money as I've gotten older means I can get him nicer things, or we can do more expensive things, but that's not at the heart of it. I mean, literally the first year we were watching tons of Korean television. So it's about 9-10 years ago. And I made him like a dakji, which is like, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it's like a folded paper. We call them poverty games, where they would do they would make these folded things, and you throw one on the ground to get the other one to flip up. And I like watched YouTube videos on how to make them, and literally gave him folded pieces of paper, and we had so much fun. So I take celebrating to it's a life philosophy, because there's just so much joy and love. And then another simple thing you could do is literally when someone gives you a compliment, don't argue, just say, thank you. Or if something makes you feel good about yourself, pause and give yourself 10 seconds to just reflect on how happy you are about it. Literally just 10 seconds of celebration. And you will already feel a mood boost, and you will be more in your own body, and you will start to know over time what you like more, and more of your own needs and wants and desires, which is, again, confidence, happiness, part of joy. The next one is expand yourself. Do things that make your world bigger. And there's different ways of doing this. Some part of yourself that can be like an expansion, so that you start to feel that you're taking up more and more space within yourself. One of the things that I really love is when my patients, after several years, I can say to them, your life's really robust. It's really full. You have friends that do these. You do these different activities. You trivia and karaoke, and you're dressing up, and you have friends, and you've been practicing this skill, and you've gotten better at cooking, and you've done all these things. And I'm just like, your life is so full. And it's really exciting, and people feel better. And sometimes people just need a little bit of encouragement, and then just go off with it. I did not get my ears pierced until the pandemic. I apparently, like my grandmother, decided that my early 40s were the time to get my ears pierced. I felt such an expansion of self, and anyone who is into tattoos and piercings, they always have the same sort of reactions of like, I did a thing I didn't think that I could do. People come up with all these different ways. CrossFit for some people. I'm not making any statement about harmfulness or health, but I do know that when people do things physically that expands their limitations, they tend to feel more powerful. And so just think about what are ways you might want that in your life. 5, replicate and recreate. Think back to a time in your life where you felt joy. What elements of that can you bring into today? If you visited a country, maybe you get takeout from that place. You pick a dish and you recreate a dish from that culture. Maybe there's a place you want to go to but can't. So you learn 5 phrases from that language. So you think about what is a time in your life when you felt good, and how can you get moments of that, right? Like people who miss their pets. Anyone you know with a pet that you could go to just to play with for a little bit. It doesn't take very much to evoke that positive memory or that thing that you want. And you just need to start thinking about what are tiny specific ways that I could bring this into my life. What are elements from past experiences that you could just bring one of those elements into your life one time and see how that makes you feel. So that was 5, replicate and recreate. So number 6 is do something meaningful. When people feel like their lives are empty, it's because they don't have enough meaningful activity in their lives. There are ways and small ways to do things that add a sense of meaning to your life. Who do you want to be kind to? What do you want more of? What really at the end of the day matters to you? And how could you connect with that for even 10 seconds? Do you want to get to be creative? Do you want to get to be expressive? To really just start thinking about what do you want more of in your life? And then how are very discrete, concrete 10 seconds to longer periods of time that you could build that in. That's what I'm going to suggest that you do. Okay, so now that you've come up with these things, you're going to go out and you're going to try them. And then after a week, you're going to stop. So I'm going to have you pause and reflect on how was it? What got in the way? Did I not say no enough this week and that's why I didn't have time? Did I not say yes enough because I was too scared to try new things and I was trying to avoid? Is that what got in the way? Did I forget? Is joy just something I don't think about naturally enough? The idea is that you attach it to normal things in your life, you know? So if like every time you go to the bathroom, you also do a little happy dance after, or every time you eat, you listen to some music that you love, or like attach it to things you're already doing on your own. None of this should rely on willpower. This has to be immediately reinforcing in your life. If it's not reinforcing, you're not going to want to do it. The other 2 big things that sort of get in the way are lack of money. And there are a lot of articles and stuff online on free ideas. And then the other one is maybe you're out of some ideas. I'm hoping that my resource helps with that. Start asking people, what's a thing that you do that you don't really talk about, but that brings you so much joy? Or as one of my patients says, where are you getting your next dopamine hit from? I love my own personal nighttime. Like these are the things that I'm doing and I associate them with warmth and coziness and feeling happy. And it's like a really nice way to end the day, that sense of happiness. Sometimes I'm too happy and then I just lie there thinking about how happy I am and I can't go to sleep. But that's a separate problem. And if that becomes a problem for you guys out there, then I will make a video about that too. All right. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you find what I'm saying useful. Please, in the comments, write what parts were helpful, what parts weren't. What did you do or tried of any of these things that really like you found made a difference? You know, I'm wanting people to give ideas to each other. I'm going to put all the links you need in the description so you don't have to like figure anything out or backtrack. Again, I'm Dr. Urit. This is Emotional Billionaire. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that you learn to love being you.